Hello everyone, it's Greg from the Plastic Crap blog here. I've got my headphones on, I'm sat at the computer, so it can only mean one thing. It's time to review the new Infinity releases. So, with this month's releases, I was slightly underwhelmed with what's come out. We've got a couple of new repacks you can see here. So we've got the Corregidor Bandits and the Kauri Sentinels. Nothing too fancy about them except they're just being repacked and they're not exactly something I'm excited about to begin with, if I'm honest with you. However, we do have some nice things. I'm much more excited for next month's releases, considering that the third offensive has come out into the book and has been distributed this week. So I'm hoping that over maybe the next couple of weeks that they'll start to announce sort of new military orders, miniatures, Varuna miniatures, as well as Imperial Service. So Imperial Service, Invincible Army, something that we're all very, very excited for, and talk has been going on for ages. So I think it's a bit calm. I think over December, and considering that people have Christmas money, they've saved the best releases for that time of year, and hopefully there'll be something a bit more exciting coming up this week. Although I think a few people are particularly excited about one of these releases, as you'll see here. So I'm going to go through these individually. I'm going to leave out the repacks because nobody's really bothered about them at all, are they? So, and we know what they are. So starting up, we've got the Dakini Tacbots. So I think everyone was really excited to see new sculpts of the Dakini Tacbots. They are very, very nice miniatures, quite exciting, and the fact that you've got multiple different options I think are nice. I don't know a great deal about them in terms of how they play, so I don't really understand why the Spitfire model is vastly different. So I'd have to have a look on Army and see what that's about. But it looks like you've got I suppose three decent heavy weapon choices, so hopefully crossing the board. So let's have a look at them in a bit more detail. So the HMG model is really, really nice. I like the long clip. It's a very similar backpack to what we see on the Chaxas from Toha. It's a nice, cool miniature. It looks very robotic, but also quite sleek. It's quite interesting because when you look at the mouth, it's almost like it's got a rebreather. I like the two, the very sort of flat-faced. I think that's really, really nice. As you sort of look at it from a different angle, you can see that it's very detailed on the back, as per usual, what we'd expect from Infinity. Not 100% sure how I feel about that feet sticking up like that. I don't know whether it's going to be difficult to glue and stay on the base itself, but it is nice. Yeah, it is a nice miniature. Definitely very nice. Again, kind of the sniper rifle. Pretty much the same miniature except crouching down. They do look very cool. I suppose what's nice is that you're getting some different poses. Not everything stood up. I don't. For quite a few of them, we have kind of crouching down poses, and it looks almost like it'd be too big to do that. But I'm guessing that these are still silhouette too, but it looks quite a chunky model, perhaps because of the shoulder plates and sort of the leg plates. They are very, very nice. And then we've got this little guy with the combi rifle, who's got a pistol out, which I think is quite cool because you rarely see miniatures pulling out their secondary weapons. I don't know if there's a great deal what to say about these. I know Dakini Tacbots are very useful. People really like them. They look quite similar, but I suppose you're going to get that with robotics miniatures, even though you've got a multi-pack, you kind of find the similar things with like the Karakuri, even though they're ancient as hell. They're pretty similar, but I suppose it'd be nice and easy to paint these up very, very quick, which is always a good thing. And then we've got this last miniature in the box, which I'll have to find out a little bit more who's armed with the Spitfire. And she looks more like how to explain it? I suppose almost like an android as opposed to a robot, if that makes any sense. So much more human-like. You've got I'm guessing those arms are freestyled by the looks of it. It would be nice if there was that detail, because I suppose you find that on what's his name, the character with the Panzerfaust, Akmon. He's got those on his arms, which is always nice. It makes it, if you crap like painting like me, it makes it a lot easier to paint. I suppose looking at the hair, I suppose once you get kind of, I don't know, maybe half an inch away from the scalp, it looks like it pretty much loses all detail, and you're predominantly relying on kind of making some sort of texture with the paint, which I'm not too keen about. It'd probably be a lot nicer and a lot easier to paint if there were strands running all the way through, so I don't really know why they've done that. It's interesting, but I think it kind of lets the model down. She's got tactical heels on. Why? A bit silly, and sort of a nice short skirt. I don't know. It's painted reasonably nice, but I think it's missing a considerable amount of detail. You've got very flat trousers, very flat hair. I'm not really digging this. If I'm honest with you, I think it's a bit of a shame because it's got a lot of potential, and I think it's let them down a little bit, but never mind. So the next miniature we have up in this month's December releases is the Zulu Cobra. I know a lot of people are excited about this purely because it's giving Pano the jammers, which I think everyone's raging about a little bit because of the damage that they do and the painfulness they have, mainly from the mutts in Hack. But we're starting to see these spread across factions, with the Nomads having had them more recently. So it's an alright miniature. I do like the pose, but I'm really not keen on all this tactical ponchos that we're starting to see come across Varuna. Yeah, I'm really not keen on them. I do really like, however, the faceplate, and that it isn't a full helmet. It reminds me a little bit of the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, which is pretty cool. But I suppose one of the things is hard to see on this picture, which I'll get another one up in a second, but I'm not too sure. I feel really let down by the paint scheme on this one. I don't know if it's one of Angel Durandez's team, because I know his team are doing a lot of them, but it doesn't look like it's his work. So the jammer itself is very nice, really well painted, but then his poncho and his armor itself doesn't look like it's done to the same standard that we'd usually expect from him. It's a reasonably nice miniature. I'm not absolutely raving about it, mainly because of the poncho, but I think a lot of people are going to be picking this up mainly for the toolkit as opposed to what it looks like. Next, we've got the Corregidor Engineer. I'm quite glad that this one has come out because it's got the new, well, I suppose not the new weapon. It's the, I want to say the autocannon. I might be wrong in thinking that, so I'm going to very quickly look this up. Yeah, so it is the autocannon. It's a miniature that's been missing for a while, and to be honest, I really, really like this. I think Morats are funky in general, but they seem to be moving towards a new style with these armoured plates that you're starting to see across a few of the miniatures that have come out recently, like the new Ryko. They seem to be taking on a very slightly different style, having a little bit more Morat-ish to them. I think the helmet's pretty badass. It's nice to see one that hasn't got an open face. I really, really like this miniature. The thing I think I like most about it is the autocannon itself. It's absolutely friggin' massive. If we look at it from this side-on view, it's so, so cool. And I really like that he's kind of just badass one-arming it for a moment. And you can sort of see the way he just hold that, that sort of, I don't know, that handle on the outside. It's an amazing, amazing miniature, but I think it's going to be really, really hard to transport. But I really, really like it. I think it's fantastic. Moving on next, we've got the Odalisques for Haqqislam, and she's armed with a Spitfire. Really nice. I think there are some details that I particularly like about this one, such as the flowers in her hair. See, I think it makes all the difference. We were talking earlier slightly about that A-left miniature who's got the long flat hair. Here, just you can immediately see, even though it's running down halfway down her body, it's got more movement, it's got more texture. It looks great. And I suppose I don't know from a design concept whether the A-left one was looking to be more synthetic, less human perhaps, but it just doesn't look right. Whereas this looks fantastic. Really, really nice paint job. Um, Keeping in line with a lot of the previous hack miniatures in terms of design, but it looks really, really sharp. It's got a nice sort of detail, and it's quite nice. Again, I know I'm talking a lot about the hair, but the fact that it's not just a flat hair and a ponytail, you've got sort of almost kind of like a half bun, and you've got some cool little accessories. It really, really nice. I think it's proportioned really well as well for a female character. She's not wearing stupid heels as far as I can tell from here. Um, yeah, looks great. Really, really like that one. Then we're on to the Securitate. So, as far as I can tell, the Securitate, you could only get 3 with a combi rifle from the Tunguska box set. So this is kind of expanding these, the weapon options that you're getting with these. I really like them. It seems as if they've continued with the Nomads kind of theme. So the ones in the box they've painted with sort of pink hair, and quite different, and they're always very, very striking, very, very nomady. I do like these a lot. They look badass with the handcuffs on their waist and the um, carabanas. Is that what you call them? I think so. Sort of little the clips, and the vest themselves are very nice. What I do think is a really nice touch to these as well is the shirt and the tie poking out underneath the vest. I think that's spot on. They look very cool with the sunglasses. I do really, really like these. So looking in a bit more detail, we've got Bold Man. Not a great deal to say about this miniature. I think he's cool. It's a nice pose. But apart from that, I don't think he's probably one of the ones that stands out for me within this box. You've got this guy who looks like he's a hacker. Very, very nice. I like his bionic arms. I think they are on both of them actually. Yeah, both of them have those sort of bionic arms. So I'm not entirely sure what fluff-wise that is meant to be, whether that's augmented muscles, because it's not on their legs, but they are very, very cool. So he's got a nice backpack as well. The others have got sort of flat vests, whereas he's got some sort of backpack. So I don't know whether he's got some extra bit of tool and kit with him. But it just looks pretty sharp. I'm not sure how it works in terms of going over that vest from a design perspective, but looks very, very cool. I do like that. I think, considering that sometimes I think it's difficult to get the color matching on some of these guys when you're trying to do crazy hairs alongside a color scheme. The red and the blue obviously work very well together, very striking against the black. I do like his ginger hair. I think it works well and doesn't necessarily go poorly with the red vest. Then we've got Blue Lady. She looks pretty cool. It's a quite a nice pose as well. She looks very relaxed. Not probably my favourite out of this either. I think I'd either prefer the red guy, the ginger guy, or the one we're about to see in a minute. Again, nice different backpacks. So they've all got their individual features. You're not kind of looking as if they're all exactly the same with just a head swap, which I do like about these guys. They have really thought about it and put effort into making, I suppose, 4 individual bodies as far as I can tell. Actually, Bold Man might share a body with Ginger Man, and it just has different arms. Yeah, I think that's what's happened. And then finally, we have got this guy. I'm not actually sure what the difference between him and the others are, but this one's wearing a mask. So I don't know. I'm assuming he's maybe some sort of boss in terms of like chain of command lieutenant or something slightly better. What weapon has he got? Potentially a combi rifle or a Mark 12. His cape is very nice, as is his mask, and he's probably the only one who isn't wearing a vest. although he looks like he's got a good piece of armor over the top. So at first I thought this was a Hollow Man, but he hasn't got the right boots to be a Hollow Man, unless I'm grossly mistaken. But he does look like he would be somehow the fire team leader. Yeah, he is very nice. So interestingly, I suppose the mask in itself is a very interesting sort of way that they've laid that out. It looks more like a long elongated skull, almost a little bit like General Grievous from Star Wars without the wings on the side of his head. But he is nice. Not a lot of tool kits on him like backpacks and other little gimmicks that the others do have, but he's got some ammo knocking about. Tactical rock, I suppose, minus a point for that, but we're going to get those from time to time, aren't we? So those are the December releases of 2018. Let me know what you think. I'm hoping for a lot more to come out in the next month. Hopefully something more exciting that we've never seen before, because these didn't really feel vastly different, more just weapon options, to be honest, for the majority of them. So hopefully we'll get some nice shiny new toys for Varuna Invincible Army, which I think is going to be really, really exciting. And maybe even military orders with some new sculpts. So let me know what you think, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.